All right, folks, we're here with Matt from Pixel Dome. You guys remember him? We did the store tour a while back. I'll leave a link down below for you to check that out. Today, I want to hear about your collection, man.
All right, now we're getting personal.
Yes, sir.
Well, if you guys can notice, I'm a bit of a Sony fanboy. I really have my games kind of going from modern to the oldest school, furthest you go down. Pretty much, if you'll notice, a lot of stuff with me is a lot of horror-oriented stuff between like Evil West, Dead Space, Alan Wake, you know, Aliens, all that. But I am a massive side-scrolling shooter fan, preferably horizontal than vertical, but I do have a lot of vertical shooters as well. These clones of old school games like Iron Meat from Contra, a lot of RPGs as well. Under Defeat I got the other day. It's an arcade port that has been modernized for the PS5. Really there, you know, I've got a lot of odd cuts on the system too. R-Type Final Evolved. This is one, that's the third one that's approaching like 70, 80 bucks nowadays.
On the PS5?
Yeah, on the PS5. PS4 really was a crazy one for me because this is really what got me back into game collecting. I'm a big PS4 fan. There probably isn't a week goes by I don't pick up another PS4 game. Probably one of the more expensive ones I got is the Contra collection. That one's getting on up there in price. This Castlevania collection, Requiem, that has Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood on it. It's up there around 80 bucks now. Wow. A lot of RPGs on this system, a lot of side-scrolling shooters on this system. You know, like the Psycho Shooting Collection, both arcade ports, Gunbird, and a bunch of other great ones on it.
I used to have those on the Switch.
Yeah, I've got these on the Switch too.
Nice.
I'm not about a mass collection. I'm very surgical and I just want what I want.
Smarter that way.
Exactly. I have no desire to have 4,000 games.
Don't be like me.
I've never tried to go for a full collection of anything. I'm more about just what I want, you know, for each system.
Out of your PS5 collection, what are a couple of your favorite games, and then what's a hidden gem that you have?
Probably from a price-wise, the Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. This one here is creeping all over 100 bucks now, especially sealed, which I didn't do that for collectability. I just ain't got to it yet.
Yeah.
But that one's climbing up there. As a game that I just truly love to play, it's hard to pass up Rift Apart.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That game is an absolute masterpiece. Me being a shmup fan, Signy All Guns Blazing is one of the hardest shooters I've ever played until you master it, but it's a really good one. If you're an old school RTS fan on the computer, this is a real-time strategy you can get for the Aliens world. It is killer. You go through the map and all that, and you get into rooms, and the only way you can save the game in this game is to weld yourself in the room where the aliens can't get in.
Really?
It is an over-the-top isometric view game, terribly difficult, but it is a masterpiece.
What about on the PS4? Some of your favorites and a couple of hidden gems.
Automatically this one, Hunt Down.
Hidden gem?
It is a masterpiece.
Tell me about it.
I love it. This is a side-scrolling shooter set in almost the Blade Runner universe.
Really?
You run through, you gun, you kill, all that stuff, but there's tons of hidden things in it. You can choose from 3 different characters in it. I love this game. It can't really be compared to anything. It's not a Contra clone. It is a thing of its own. I actually got the collector set of it, and I've kept it around. It came with a lot of goodies and stuff inside there.
Never heard of that one. Was it a limited release? Or?
No, it's you can get it on Amazon. It started to climb a little bit. I think it's hanging around 30 to 40 bucks now. When I got it, it was a $20 game. PS3, I don't have a lot of love for.
Yeah.
During this era, I was Dreamcasting, I was original Xboxing, I don't know, I was all over the place. And the PS3 I did not get into until later on. These here, right when the PS3 came out, or the PS4, PlayStation started putting the blue banner at the top, just like you see on the PlayStation 4 games.
Right.
So I've been going after those, trying to get all the late release games that had this blue banner at the top.
I didn't even know that.
But from there, I've got my PS2 stuff. I like the PS2, it's just I'm very specific on what I buy for it. And it's really just all the great stuff. Maximo, you know, Metal Gear Solid 2. Cold Fear is a Capcom survival horror game that not a lot of people talk about. It is kind of crappy, but it's crappy in a good way to me. Yeah, but I mean, I've got some good ones on there. This is one for you guys to look out for right now. Is Resident Evil Outbreak File 2. This one now is approaching over $100.
No kidding.
One of my all-time favorite games on this system is Sylpheed. Sylpheed, another cheap game, Working Designs game. killer shooter, moderately paced. It's not a bullet hell by any means. If you're into cave bullet hells, this game ain't gonna be for you because it is slower. But honestly, the older I get, I need it to slow down. But below that is where my heart lies. The PlayStation frickin' 1.
Okay.
That system, for some reason, the CD era kicked in when I was in my early 20s and it just grabbed hold of me like wildfire. So that is the system that I collect for still very, very heavily. I'm always on the lookout. I think at Siege, you were the first purchase I made buying a PS1 game, Wipeout.
Nice.
You know, but...
it's a hard system to collect for, man, because I find that it's hard to find the games in good condition.
It is. I'm a recasing fool. And I bought a heat press before I opened my store specifically because of PS1 games. I would heat press the artwork, get them flattened out again, all that stuff.
Nice.
But the great thing about PS1, there is so many freaking games. I always find a game I've never seen before.
Same.
As you can see, I'm going after as well the long boxes. I think there's 100 long boxes that were the original release for the PS1. Parasite Eve is my all-time favorite game on the system.
Okay, I've never actually played it.
It is a masterpiece. It was a Squaresoft game that is a turn-based game, but every weapon you had in the game had its range. So if you had a pistol, you had a little grid that would come around you and your range was shorter. If you had a rifle, your range would increase to where you could shoot longer. But it was kind of like one of the first time, real-time, what do they call it, like action combat mixed with strategy and turn-based. Just to show you kind of how fanatical I am about that game.
Oh, you got the players guides.
No, there's variants.
Okay.
I got the foil cover.
There you go.
And I've got that one.
Nice.
This one was a exclusive for Software Etc. And this one was an EB Games one.
Folks, the ability to trade in your retro and modern games that are collecting dust from the comfort of your own home has just gotten even easier through the Goodiez app. The Goodiez app is a buying and selling marketplace for retro and modern games that you can download for free and create an account for free. And through a recent update, they've made it easier than ever to trade in your games. All you have to do is figure out which games from your collection you want to trade in, find them in the app, mark if they're complete in box, loose, etc., add them to a cart, click trade in. The Goodiez app will give you your trade in value. Once you confirm, they email you a shipping label. You print off the shipping label, pack the games, take it to the post office, and all you got to do is sit and wait for your trade-in credit to get loaded through the app. And the best part is, if you trade in games that are a trade-in value over 200 bucks, you get free shipping. Anything under 200 bucks, the shipping charge gets deducted from your trade-in credit. So technically, you're still not really paying for shipping. Now, what can you apply this trade-in credit to through the app? I'm glad you asked. There are some sellers selling video games on the app, but beyond that, you can use your trade-in credit to pre-order brand new games for the Switch, Switch 2, PS5, and so on at wholesale prices, meaning you can get them much cheaper than retail and other online retailers. You can also apply that trade-in credit through the Goodiez Pick program, where you can get brand new games at wholesale prices. And there are a ton of brand new games for all the modern consoles on there to choose from. Some of the available pre-orders that I want to call out that are available currently through the Goodiez app are Daemon X Machina for the PS5 and the Switch 2, Borderlands 4, and Silent Hill F. And you can get all these games pre-ordered at wholesale prices. For a limited time only, there is a special promo. This promo is running for about a week, from August 29th to about September 6th, and during that time frame, anything you trade in, you get up to an additional 30% extra trade-in credit.
One thing I want to bring a lot to, this was Death Smiles. This is a game that came out on the 360. I went to GameStop back in the day to buy this game, and they didn't have it, so I had to buy the collector's edition, which I don't care anything about that stuff. But one thing that was super cool about this one is it had a faceplate in it.
Oh, nice.
Of the cover of the game. As you can see, I've never used it, but for some reason, this has become one of my favorite things in my collection. Just having this long box survive all these years with me. The Switch is a system that I dig and all that stuff, but I mainly just go after the first party stuff, and it is a gigantic shooter system for me. Yeah. I have a ton of shooters. Most all this is shooters, There's a really good one that I love here. There's a cheap one if you guys never heard of it. Slain Back from Hell.
That's a very metal game. I love that game.
The soundtrack is awesome. It is a punishing game, but the rewards on it are awesome when you get somewhere on it. This is a Humble Bumbles game. This is the first press of it. If you're looking for this game to collect, you do want to go after the first press of this game. This game's about $100 to $120 right now. Woo. It is very reminiscent of old school Resident Evil.
Really?
Now here, I've got my TurboGrafx collection started. This is pathetic. I have 2 of them. But I do have 2 of my favorites, and I'm doing on this system essentially what I've done on the PS1 and a lot of the other systems. I'm only getting the stuff I'm really into. These 2 games I grew up with, Dungeon Explorer, which if you like Gauntlet, this is a Gauntlet clone with some of the best music you've ever heard in a video game.
Oh, nice.
Sinistron, I got from Scott Squatch at Southeast Game Exchange. This is complete in box, outside sleeve, whole thing. I won't tell you the price because it is offensive. But it is another side-scrolling shooter. Had to have it. Me and my best friend grew up with this game. You move on down, the GameCube. I'm not going after a full set, anything like that. I just got the games I dig. Mainly the standouts, Eternal Darkness. Love the game, good horror game.
That game needs to be remade.
This one, I'm trying to get all the variants on. I have the Target, of course. I need to take a sticker off, but I've got Metroid Echoes bonus disc on that, and then the OG one. I know people are going to think this is heresy, but I did not play the Super Nintendo, or own a Super Nintendo, that is, up until about 2 years ago.
Okay.
I grew up a Sega kid. My best friend had a Super Nintendo, so everything I played that is essentially here, he owned. So I played all these at his house. So those are really the only thing I'm going back and collecting. Down here, we have the love of my life outside of PS1, Sega CD.
Okay, interesting.
I bought this thing day one. The games aren't that great. The cases absolutely suck.
Yep.
Greatest system ever made. I love it. Star Wars Rebel Assault, great one. Adventures of Batman and Robin.
Oh, that's a awesome
great
game.
Dungeon Explorer, which is a little bit different than the TurboGrafx one. That one's way over $100. Great, great game. Down here, this is an ever-changing thing. Another analog system, TurboGrafx Duo. This plays the actual CDs and it plays the Hue cards. I have an EverDrive in here as well. Down here, your PS5, your OG Xbox, and your Dreamcast. Down here, we've got your GameCube. I also have component cables for it. The crown jewel, I feel like, of the units. We've got the Neo Geo AES.
Ooh, boy.
Now, the thing that most people are gonna not realize, this is the American unit, folks. This is not the Japanese unit.
So what, before we end this awesome collection tour, man, what's your most prized possession in the collection?
I will say that every other video I watch, there's a big box Earthbound.
Yep.
You go to any convention, big box Earthbound. I don't like Earthbound.
Yeah.
I don't get it with Earthbound. But you see Earthbound everywhere. What you don't see everywhere, and what I love so much about my rare item that costs $9 CIB on price charting, is this. The PSP Season 1 Sealed of Good Times, the first complete season. This is a show that I grew up with as a kid. I absolutely loved it. I adore this.
You guys watching, I'll leave a link to the store tour down below and Matt's YouTube channel. Go check that out. If you're in the area, come check out the Pixel Dome Video Games, an awesome store. Support local small businesses.